What's up guys, TSG here, and today I'm starting my new video series. This is cool, pretty well requested video series that some people wanted me to do. It's kind of like a maps, tips, and tricks that I like to do. So I thought, why not start on one of the starting maps? We're gonna start here on Layton Lake. This is not really gonna be catered towards the specific animals, but more or less where I like to hunt for certain animals and the different things that I do when I go hunt on this map. So, what I first like to do is, if I'm hunting whitetail, I usually set the time about an hour into the zone. I do that with every zone. I'll set it about an hour in. That way there's usually animals already on the zone when I get there and I don't gotta sit and wait. So, I'll start down here and I'll move my way up the river system, and I'll get up to about here, and then I'll either go up here and I'll work the rest of the way down, or I'll hop over here and go across and go up that way. I know there's a lot of other places for whitetail as well. You know, you can find them down here. I've seen them up here at Mushroom. I've seen them over here on a feed zone in the woods over here. There's all kinds of different areas. Everybody's map is different though, so just because I find animals some places doesn't mean you'll always see them. Also, having tents is a good way to move around your map effectively, or also with the tripods. Tripods and tree stands are great as well. It eliminates the amount of hunting pressure on zones, like down here. I'll put a tripod over here for when I'm hunting a zone over here. I'll put this here for hunting over here. That way my zones don't get wiped as easy, because you can kill a couple more animals rather than standing on the ground. I've got tents placed strategically around the map at specific areas where I like to hunt. Like up here I have one for elk. I have another one up here for elk. Another one up here for elk, as I just finished doing my Road to a Diamond elk. So I'll probably move those tents around to different areas for hunting different animal species, if I decide to. But putting tents in places where you have zones is good. Don't put it directly next to the zone. Like, I have this one probably about 200 yards off of where the water is, because you can spook the animals when you spawn on your tents. So it's good to put it away a little. Good to put it away from the zone a little bit so you don't spook the animals. But just go to these little random lakes are good, and it's a pain in the butt walking. You don't want to use a four-wheeler, otherwise you're going to scare the animals away. So, putting a tent near an area where you like to hunt is always a great way to do things. Like up here I have one, so I don't have to move as far if I want to hop up this way. This is my favorite spot for blacktail is this little lake here. I've found a lot. Cameron actually showed me this spot. It's a really good spot. Doesn't mean that you'll see a bunch there, but that's where I have a tent, just because it's a great spot to hunt. But yeah, that's about what I do for hunting on this map, with where I place my tents and stuff. Using tents does help a lot. So we will spawn down here, and I'll show you my loadout that I like to run for this map. You might not have these weapons, because I like to use DLC weapons. They're the better of the weapons, in my opinion. There are plenty of weapons that you can use without having to buy DLCs. For example, the 7mm is a class 4 through 9, so it's probably the most effective weapon in the game as far as what you can shoot. But I like to use the 300. I like to use the 30-06. I like the 22 for when I'm shooting small game like rabbits or ducks. And I always carry a bow just in case something comes close and it's about to scare away the other animals, and I can quietly kill this animal. Or sometimes it's just fun killing stuff with the bow. I've got the deer grunt, I've got the elk collar, the moose collar, My tripods, I really like using Scent Eliminator because if you're going up on a zone or you're sneaking up on a diamond or a rare or something, and the wind is bad, I like to use this stuff a lot. It helps. It doesn't always work. Sometimes it's buggy and it doesn't work, but I still use it. And then I use my binoculars. That's what I run for my loadout on here. What I like to do as well when I'm hunting is on Layton is if let's see here, we'll change the time. So we'll change the time. Ducks are around earlier. I have a tent placed way up here, specifically for clearing hunting pressure. I like to just shoot a bunch of ducks, and it clears a bunch of hunting pressure away from my areas where I was hunting. It's a great way to effectively get your animals to come back quicker, because otherwise you gotta wait a while, and that's just annoying. So what I usually do, I'll grab my 22. Pretty sure they're flying above me. Yep. Couple ducks up in the air. Pluck those out of the sky. But ducks are usually in big flocks, so then you can just constantly kill them, and it's a good way of getting cash if you can kill a bunch of them. But yeah, it'll clear your hunting pressure pretty quickly if you kill about 10 ducks. And that's the best way that I've found to clear hunting pressure on Layton. Also, with having like tents and stuff by your lakes, if you rotate your spots where you're hunting, usually the hunting pressure will get spread out pretty evenly, and you won't have too much in one area. Because I only usually kill about 1, maybe 2 animals in each area. So like if I go down here, kill an animal, I'll go up here, kill an animal, I'll go over here, kill an animal, and by the time I do that, this hunting pressure here will be gone. So by the time I go to another area, it'll just be an endless cycle of the hunting pressure kind of clearing itself. So that way it's not super heavy, and I can just come up here, kill a few ducks, and that hunting pressure will go away. And that way your zones will stay protected. Now the game sometimes bugs out and deletes your zones, and that's just how it is. It happens to everybody, and it sucks. But eventually you will get your zones back. Sometimes they won't be in the same spot. Like my whitetail zones are, for drink zones are, I gotta go find them because apparently they're gone. I used to have a bunch in this river system. But they got a good amount of feed zones in Ball Mount if you're specifically hunting whitetails. Now, so my spots for specifically hunting certain species on this map, I prefer to hunt elk here, these 2 lakes, this lake, these couple lakes up here, and down here. That's where I hunt, and this one right here. That's where I hunt my elk the most. Blacktail, I hunt at Mushroom. I hunt them here. I can sometimes find them here. You can find them down here. You can find blacktail all over this map. Really, you just gotta walk around and find your zones, because everyone, like I said, everyone's map's different. So you might find a bunch in one place, whereas somebody else doesn't find them in another place. Sometimes the little low-key lakes are really nice. Whitetail, I usually strictly just hunt the river system. Occasionally I'll find them here. Occasionally I find them in here. You just gotta look around a lot. Spend a lot of time looking for your zones. Sometimes, if you're a little impatient and you actually have a group of friends that you can trust not to kill your zones, get a group of friends on. Just go find zones, because if they're spotting animals on your map, they'll find a zone, and it'll stay on your map. So that's a good way to get a bunch of zones as well. I don't personally do that. I just play a lot, so I find them on my own. Moose. Pretty much everything really follows this river system. So everything on this map you can find on the river system. That's the best thing about this map, is that no matter what you want to hunt, you just set it to their zone and go on the river system. But that about covers it for my tips and tricks for Layton. I hope you guys enjoy this. Comment below what map you'd like to see next. I'm not going to do one for Hirschfelden though, just because I don't like hunting that map and I don't know that map very well. Maybe I'll do a small Hirschfelden and Medved together, just because I only hunt a couple species on each of those maps, and that's all I really know is fallow deer and the reindeer on Medved. That's all I hunt on those maps. So don't know if I'll do one for those two maps, but there's a few other maps you can pick from that I play quite a bit. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Leave a thumbs up if you like it. If you're new, hit subscribe. It means a lot. There's a lot of you guys that watch, but you're not subbed. Just check to see if you're subbed. If you're not, hit that sub button. Got a bunch of great content coming for you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.